Deal with the
the bag and Paul's.
Well, he had all those beans, and they were
Navy beans? What kind of
they were
beans?
navy beans, dried navy beans. And my mother bought a pound of beans one day, and we were going to have ham and beans. Well, Paul got a hold of him, and he started playing this game with his beans, and he played alone. And he had a piece of paper and a pencil, and he had dice, and he'd roll the dice, and then he'd write down something, and then he'd move some beans, and he'd keep playing. But nobody knew how to play it but himself. But he carried that stuff around in that bag. The dice and the beans and all the beans. A whole pound of them. Dried beans. And nobody knew nobody knew how to play it except himself, because he played alone. But he'd sit down every night and play with those beans.
And he took that to college too.
Yep. He took it with him when he left.
And that's what was in that bag that we gave Paul and Judy.
Yep.
Or Judy and Debbie, I mean.
I didn't see it the other night.
It looked like a little pillowcase.
Yeah.
Did Debbie bring it?
I brought that little that envelope that had stuff for Judy and for Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
And when she pulled the stuff out, she says, Helen, are you missing a pillowcase? And I remember putting it in there because Mom had told me that story about whatever.
That great big one.
Oh.
It was just whatever that bag was, and I remember putting it in there because Mom said Paul blah 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 blah, and then I put it in there, but I didn't remember what the significance of the bag was.
Yeah, that's what it was. He carried that.
So at the party, when Debbie said that, I'm like, Mom knows the significance of the bag, but she'd had the Bloody Mary and couldn't remember what the bag meant. So I figured when we came home, I'd find out what the significance was. And well, now she knows what the significance of the bag is.
Cool.
So for Judy and Debbie,
When he left there, everybody say, "Is he going to take his beans with him when he leaves?" They were those beans and Paul and the beans. Well, always a big joke in our house because nobody knew what he did with we knew what he played with the beans, but we didn't know the
significance.
Yeah, nobody knew how to play the game but him.
And to this day.
No, we still don't.
That's too bad. It could have been
never did know.
Patented.
The bean game.
It could be called Navy beans.
Navy beans, Paul Navy beans. So that's
never knew
the
why he
significance.
Well, he wrote stuff on a piece of paper, and then he'd play, and then he'd roll the dice, and then he'd move some beans either into the other one pile or back and forth. And I don't know.
Back and forth. Okay, so he didn't roll dice.
He'd roll
And
the
then
dice.
that's how many beans he would put over to the...
I know what he did. But he'd write, then he'd move the beans. Then sometimes he'd move them back the other way. It wasn't always go that way.
Okay.
It was back and forth. Sometimes he'd have a lot of beans over here, and sometimes not many. But he rolled those dice, and then he write the number. I don't know what the writing down was. Never did know. And then
Do you think he ever told Judy?
Well, he was just a little kid when he started doing it.
Well, he had his beans, though, when he was in college.
He had the beans forever.
And he might remember.
Nobody knew it. Nobody knew it.
But that's what the bag was for.
But that was his game in there.
How did you end up with it?
I don't know how I ended up with it. But he'd go in every night, and when he was little, 7 or 8 is when it all began, and he loved it.
That's funny that he ended up a pharmacist, like moving little things like...
Yeah.
Pills.
Yes, counting pills.
Pills over here.
It's very interesting. Huh. He liked dishing stuff out, evidently.
I don't know.